they caught me right away. But after 4 months, I left. The reason why my question to you is, don't ask to tell obviously is the problem, but I'm a little bit concerned about the after. I know that we want to repeal don't ask, don't tell. However, education is very fundamental, because one of the reasons why I left the military at the time, along with a lot of disagreements, was the fact as a gay man, out gay man, I could not survive in a military environment. So don't ask, don't tell needs to be addressed. At the same time, I wonder, that's the question, if there is already something planning out there from the LGBT community or besides that is actually thinking about how to implement programs, educational programs where gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual individual can actually live safely within the military, because it's not something that obviously we know we can assume is going to automatically be okay just because we don't ask, don't tell. So that's my question. Thank you.
And I actually have the answer, which is convenient, I think. I actually lived through watching the military handle the integration of women improperly in ships, and then tailhook, which ended up in the newspapers. And I served as a civilian in the Department of Defense for over a decade in Washington, D.C., where I did collateral duty also in addition to my normal job as an EEO counselor, which is Equal Employment Opportunity, and I was involved in many EEO things. One of which is you learn about sensitivity training. So one of the primary things that DoD Fed Globe is working on this summer, and we can always use volunteers to help us, is we're trying to create both a PowerPoint briefing and a DVD to do sensitivity training about lesbian, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders, about their history, and about how it relates to the Department of Defense. Because I want to make sure there's a smooth transition when we get rid of don't ask, don't tell. Because not only will the military be coming out of the closet, but the civilians that work for the Department of Defense might actually finally feel safe enough to come out of the closet. And there's a whole bunch of them.
That's a very good question, Max. The interesting thing about what is happening right now is one of the things that Admiral Mullen, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, has said is that they are actually beginning to discuss a post-repeal world. Our organization, as well as the Palm Center with Aaron Balkin, are doing some really amazing work in terms of developing resource materials for the Pentagon that could be used to assist them in that. But the interesting thing is that the part of the reason we need to get rid of this is the military has a system in place with regards to housing. It's my understanding you can't live in military housing unless you're married. Well, gays can't get married right now, and the federal government won't recognize those marriages. There are procedures in place, and all we are asking with regards to don't ask, don't tell is that a person's status in the military should not be defined by their sexuality, it should be defined by their conduct. And so as a result of that, the military organization, the Pentagon, have already got a lot of the infrastructure in place. They are going to need help in doing that. What is exciting to hear is that they are actually internally having those discussions about how that is done. But in terms of disciplinary issues, housing, all we want is the existing codes to be applied equally across the board. That's what this is really all about.
To add on to Mike, the Military Readiness Enhancement Act will also have in law protections for those gay service members of employment discrimination, harassment, and those will be placed as part of the law.
Going back to my experience in the military, I think one of the things that we have to remember that when we speak of educational programs or training dealing with LGBT issues, we're talking about changing an entire system. Because I remember when I was in the military and we had training dealing with sexual harassment between heterosexual soldiers. And I remember our training consisted of sitting down, stating, this is the sexual harassment training, sitting there talking about nothing concerned dealing with sexual harassment, and the meeting was over. I think once we come up with the idea, educational programs, we have to get the people to believe in it and implement it. And it's going to take a long time because you're changing the entire system, the way people thought about or acted on for many, many years.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Tracy Emblem, and Lisa invited me here tonight, and I just want to thank the panel. You've been very informative. It's a matter of human dignity, what you're talking about, and you have to get out and put on more forums so that you can educate the public. And once the public listens to these stories, they have to agree that this is all about human dignity and letting people serve their country. And we have to stop this divisive hatred in our country. And so education has got to be the best way we can do it. This forum is very great. I'm running against Brian Bilbray, and we're going to take him out this time.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole. I just wanted to let everyone know that Congressman Bob Fellner of the 51st District